Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another unbagging, as I'm going to call it, from my Japan holiday. This time we are doing my shops, plural, from Travels Factory. I stumbled upon the very titchy store in Tokyo train station in my first few days of being over there, but it was just before they released the 2025 insert, so I bought a few bits, and then when I was in Kyoto I went to kind of the big store there, and that's where I picked up a few more bits, specifically the 2025 stuff. So let's get cracking and yeah, start going through what I bought. I'm going to kick off with this, which, as you will have noticed, is out of the bag, and that's because it was something that I knew I wanted to buy early on for the trip. Now I'm gonna see if I can remember, or at least like drop in the description, who I saw a video from kind of going through this, but it was another YouTuber who gave me the amazing idea of having this for traveling. And what it is, as you can probably see from here, is it's basically a notebook of pockets. So one thing that when I'm on holiday I do is I obviously collect loads of ephemera and bits for the scrapbooking later, and I really struggle to organise it all because I just end up with like a big pile and it all gets kind of messy, and then I try and have to like figure out what's from when. And I realised from watching this YouTuber who basically used it for this as well, that this is perfect for holidays because I can basically put everything by day into here, so it's all perfectly organised, that when I come back and I come to do scrapbooking I can literally just pull things out as you know, as I do each day. It only has, I think it's 12 envelopes, and because we were there like 2 and a bit weeks I did have to double up some of the early days, but after that it was then just 1 day per envelope. And so yeah, when I stumbled upon the Tokyo station location, I knew that this was the thing that I had to pick up just so that I could get things organised like almost immediately. So at that point I didn't have too much to kind of sit through and organise. Absolutely amazing purchase, highly recommend it if you are kind of one of those people that does like to scrapbook and collect ephemera on holiday and things like that. Absolute brilliant purchase, love it. So next, from my Tokyo station haul, I have just a few bits. This is something that I had seen on the Hobonichi website. It's basically a stamp for, I guess like you can kind of just see very small in the picture, but it's a stamp where you can basically make little paragraphs and sentences, which is perfect for scrapbooking. I absolutely hate my handwriting, particularly if it's not on lined paper, and I like the idea of being able just to do little sentences or little paragraphs just as part of my scrapbooking of like something that we did or a location that we were in on that day, whatever it is. And so when I saw this in the travelers store, I knew I had to pick it up. Worked out really well because when I went to Tabichi they didn't actually have it in store, so if I hadn't have picked it up here and waited for Hobonichi I would have ended up without one. Sticking with the theme, I also just bought a date stamp because the one that I currently have is, I think it finishes this year. I've had it for that long. So yeah, really simple date stamp. Again, for scrapbooking, bullet journaling, whatever I want to use it for, but yeah, very key scrapbooking item for me anyway. And then finally I bought this. This is something that was sat in my Etsy cart for quite a while, from basically a reseller based in Japan. It is just a super cute, super simple crossbody or shoulder bag. Gorgeous green colour, little pocket at the front, bigger main pocket, really nice, really simple. But when I saw it hanging up in the store I was like, oh my god, I have to have this. I have wanted it for so long, and talked myself out of it because it was quite expensive for a very simple bag once I purchased it from a reseller, whereas purchasing it directly from the store, can't remember how much it was, but it was relatively inexpensive. So yeah. And that was it for the train station, because I was basically mainly wanting 2025 inserts, which is what I then bought in the Kyoto store. So 2025 inserts, you may say, what are you using them for? Because you don't currently use dated inserts for passport. And that is because for next year, I am going to move my EDC back into a passport TM. And that's why if you saw my Hobonichi unboxing video, I talked about not using the weeks as an EDC anymore, and that I had a different idea, and that's what the different idea is, to use passport. So, what they had to kind of celebrate the launch of the 2025 inserts is if you bought 2 items from the 2025 range, one I think had to be a dated element of it. So there was the dated books, and then there's things like the pencil board and stickers and things like that. If you bought 2 items, you got a cute free gift. So that just goes on the string. In the images, they kind of had it around the side, so you could use it as a bit of a pen holder. Love it, very cute. Always happy to have a memento from a trip, particularly if it was something I was going to buy anyway. And yeah, this is it. So I've gone for 2025 passport horizontal weekly. I'm still kind of working through exactly how I'm going to use it, but I think it's just going to be a very simple line down the middle, very messy planning of just what I need to do for home or for kind of Lethbridge paper stuff, just in there, very simple, but in a smaller way so that I can kind of carry it around and not have the weeks that doesn't necessarily need to be that big for an EDC. See how we go. I'm quite excited to set it up and get cracking with it. And then I went and bought the pencil board because I don't have a pencil board for passport size. I really wanted the pocket in this size because the design for this year is really, really lovely, and it's just basically like a very simple kind of acetate pocket where you can put things in, but I just knew I wouldn't need it, I wouldn't use it. I've got my pocket insert for the passport anyway, so if I do need to carry anything, it goes in there. So I went for this instead because it will be more useful. I then just bought a couple of refills for a short trip. So if you saw my Hobonichi video, you'll know that I am going to be doing my kind of main memory keeping for next year in an A6 Hobonichi, but I am still going to use the standard size for things like holidays. So these refills for a short trip, really handy and perfect for exactly that, where I just need unlimited pages. I don't want to be limited to 1 page per day. This works perfectly. I then also bought, because I absolutely loved it, and again, it's a really cool holiday memento, this is just some washi tape of all of the subway lines, JR lines, train lines that you get from place to place in Tokyo, which is hilarious that I bought this in Kyoto. But yeah, had to have this washi, super cute. I won't probably have loads of uses for it, but had to have it. No, like, I have no other explanation other than had to have it. And then finally, the other bits that I got were these. So they had this interesting little contraption which kind of kept breaking when I was in the store, but you bought tokens at the checkout, and they were 100 yen each, which I think at that moment in time was like 55 pence or something, and you fed each token into the machine, and it was a weighing scale, and so it kicked out your weight on the back of here and gave you a cool design. I think there's like 6 or 7 different ones. I just went for 3 because they are quite thick and I don't actually know what I'm going to do with them, but I thought they were really cool, again, memento from the trip and for Kyoto specifically. I stood on them when I was wearing my backpack because I was on, we had just got back from an overnight stay in Hiroshima, so the weight is hilariously heavy. That's how, well, the bag wasn't 75 kilos, but it added a substantial amount. The woman was apologetic because it got stuck and she had to faff around with it, and she was like, I'm sorry, it's not printed the weight, is that okay? And I'm like, that's absolutely fine, I'm not here for the weight, I'm here for the front. And then finally, I got another bag. So this one is bigger than the little one. It's slightly more sturdy, hard-wearing fabric, and it is just gorgeous. It's quite big. I probably should have moved the camera back a little bit. In fact, I'm going to do that now. That's a bit better. Still can't fully see it, but hopefully you can kind of get an idea of the size of it. I didn't need another bag. However, one of the things that I realised on the trip is that when I'm travelling, I do actually probably need a bigger day-to-day bag. I just use my Uniqlo, like, I don't even know what you call it, the kind of crossbody bags that everyone's got, the small ones. And particularly on like a really hot day, I could just fit everything in that I needed to take for the day trip, but then I couldn't fit any water, so then I was having to carry my bottle or carrying a bottle of Pocari Sweat, which got kind of annoying, and I just didn't have many hands-free, and like if I had my fan on because it was really hot, then I just, yeah, I needed a bigger bag, and I don't really have one that is good for traveling. And I saw this in the shop and thought, actually this could tick a lot of boxes and could be very usable in day-to-day life anyway. And it's a really pretty bag. Like it's super simple, but really really practical. So it's got the big pocket there, and then it's got this at the front, and then the strap, and lovely leather, lovely kind of canvas material, like I say, really hard wearing, really good quality. I ummed and ahed a little bit, and in the end thought, sod it, I'm not going to regret buying this because I know I will use it loads. And yeah, that was my final purchase. So that was everything that I purchased from Travellers Company. They didn't have tax-free capabilities that I could see. If I'm honest, I forgot to ask both. I mean, the first time I didn't buy enough, but when I did my kind of second stint, I probably bought enough, but I couldn't see any signs for tax-free. So yeah, paid the full amount, which is fine. Buying it over there, it's still so much cheaper than buying it back here, so it didn't really matter whether it was tax-free or not, to be honest, at the end of the day. But really happy with everything that I've bought, really excited to set up my Passport TN and have it just for kind of every day as well as travel. I did debate buying another TN so that I can kind of set up my travel TN as kind of permanently and then have my separate one as an EDC, but to be honest, I didn't see any kind of special editions or anything like that that kind of spoke to me. I could have got the olive because I'm a fan of that colour, but if I'd have seen kind of a special one, like if one of the stores had like the Moomin design, something cool like that, I probably would have picked one up. But as he only had the plain colours in Passport, it didn't really feel worth it to me. The special editions that they did have were both standard size. They had the Tokyo one that's just come out, and then the special edition Kyoto one, and I didn't see any other special editions, and yeah, I didn't need another standard size, so left that. I would have quite liked to have picked up another one, but I wasn't just going to pick up a colour for the sake of it. So yeah, I hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.